Xiaomi's SU7, right? I mean, Xiaomi didn't make any cars at all a year ago, and now they're selling more than 20,000 a month. If you want to buy a Xiaomi SU7 today, you've got to wait 5 to 7 months. That is insane. I mean, this is China. In China, there's hundreds of different models of electric cars. They're all very well priced. You can get performance cars there for insanely low prices. And yet, the SU7, you've got to wait 5 to 7 months. Now, they've just revealed their electric SUV. It looks a lot like a Ferrari Purasang. It's a little bigger than a Tesla Model Y. It's about the same price. In fact, it's a little bit cheaper than a Tesla Model Y Juniper. And honestly, it's going to sell the pants off. I mean, should Tesla be concerned? Well, everyone should be concerned because, I mean, frankly, this is a phenomenal car for $34,000. Did I just say $34,000? I did. That's true. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Now, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. To all those of you who have, I really appreciate your support. I'll put a link in the description. If you can join us, that would be great. It's a very, very small investment and helps the channel run. Chinese pricing for the Xiaomi SU7 is staggering. Sorry, I should say the YU7, which is the SU7 SUV. They've called it the YU7. Now, it does look a bit like the SU7. I don't think it looks as good. I think it looks a bit weird, to be honest, but, it does have those kind of sexy rear haunches. They look nice. The front, to me, looks, I know they've kind of tried to copy the McLaren's headlights, but I'm not a fan of the raccoon headlight look. It's just not my thing. But I know a lot of people love this car. So I'm on my own there. And really, looks are subjective, aren't they? I mean, to one person, the look of a car might be great. For example, my Xpeng G6 in black, I think it looks fantastic. Some people don't like the look of the G6. So it really depends on who you are. The YU7, right? It has 416 miles of range. That's CLTC though. So WLTP probably closer to 320 miles. 670 kilometers, that is. So probably about 570 kilometers WLTP range. But there's another version with a bigger battery that has 466 miles of range. And then there's another version with 472 miles of range. So basically what they're saying is put on some smaller wheels, you'll get extra range. The longest range version has 472 miles of range, which is 760 kilometers. In the real world, that's probably closer to 370 miles or around about 650 kilometers of range, which is still a lot of range, right, for an SUV. So I think it's still a pretty damn impressive car. The base rear-wheel drive model, I should point out actually, guys, there is a long-range all-wheel drive and there is a base rear-wheel drive. Now that gets 368 miles of CLTC range. That's 593 kilometers. So, real world probably looking at about 290 miles, 280 miles of range. Still not too bad. Now the all-wheel drive long range gets 447 miles or 720 kilometers. Now there is a rear-wheel drive long range as well, which might have more range than that. Anyway, there's quite a few different versions of this car. And what that means is there's options for everyone. If you want all-wheel drive and more performance, you can buy that. If you want rear-wheel drive and you want shorter performance and you want, less range for a cheaper price, you can buy that. If you want rear-wheel drive, long range, you can get that. So there's quite a few different choices. And I think that's a really good idea. How big is it? It's actually a very similar size to the Zeekr 7X, slightly bigger than a Tesla Model Y. The Tesla Model Y is 188.8 inches long. Now this is 196.8 inches long, so that's 5 meters. I get you probably thinking it's quite a bit bigger, but it's not really. Now, the reason it's not really is because, as you can imagine, this is not a vehicle that is meant to be, particularly practical. Don't get me wrong, it's more practical than a sedan, but as you can see with the styling, it's very sleek. And when you see Xiaomi cars in person, I can tell you they look much more like a sports car than a sedan. And interior space is not what they're designed for. It's more about, style and being kind of cool. And this is a pretty cool looking vehicle, but it's not going to have a huge amount of space on the inside considering its size, which is relatively big. Anyhow, the wheelbase is 113.7 inches of the Tesla Model Y, whereas the wheelbase of this car is 118 inches. But it's probably going to have similar interior space to a Tesla Model Y, just to give you some context. Now, pricing apparently will start at $35,000 US, meaning, it'll probably end up being similar price to a Tesla Model Y the standard range version in China. Now, as you can imagine, a lot of people will see this as more of a premium car than a Tesla Model Y standard range. Anyhow, higher end versions will probably cost around 42,000 US dollars, which is an amazing deal. And that's about the price of the Tesla Model Y long range all-wheel drive. Now, unfortunately, if you don't live in China, you can't buy these. If you live in Australia or Southeast Asia, you can't buy these. If you live in America, you definitely can't buy these. If you live in Europe, you can't buy these. If you live anywhere outside of China, you can't buy them unless you get them imported to your country, and you're allowed to do that. Because some countries will allow you to do that. I know people have emailed me. They've said, I've imported this car. Someone just told me they imported the Zeekr 7X. Bit of a problem doing that though. So if you import the Chinese version of the car, then it's going to, the infotainment system's going to be in Chinese, and you have all these issues with stuff like that. Anyhow, will they sell them outside of China within the next couple of years? Absolutely. Xiaomi is a global technology company, but here's the challenge for them. They will need to find distributors. They will need to set up operations in other countries. That takes time. It's probably going to take them a couple of years to get that set up. I don't see them selling this vehicle or even the SU7 for at least 2 years outside of China, because they have so much demand in China. There's really no need for them to do that. But Xiaomi EVs will definitely be on sale. Xiaomi themselves have said this globally in many different countries around the world within the next few years. But I don't believe it's going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on this? Do you like it? I think it's actually pretty cool. Let me know in the comments. Listen, guys, I absolutely love the Tesla Model S Plaid. It's been an amazing car, but its era of dominance, it's over. Because Xiaomi has taken the performance electric sedan to an entirely new level. Now, if you think Lucid's good, Lucid's great. I mean, Lucid makes some fantastic fast sedans, but they are nothing. I'm sorry, but they are nothing in comparison to Xiaomi's new electric sports EV. This isn't even a sedan. This is a supercar for non-supercar prices. This thing is insane. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. I've driven quite a few fast cars. I'm about to take delivery of an Xpeng G6. It's pretty fast. Not super fast, but decently fast. I drove the Tesla Model 3 Ludicrous, the new version recently. That was really fast. I drove the Zeekr 001 FR. That was crazy fast. That's got 1,300 horsepower. Drove that around a racetrack in China. That was fast. I mean, EVs, to be honest, they will blow your mind with how quick they are, because they have all their power, right, early on that rev range. It's not like internal combustion. Internal combustion, you hear these big numbers, these huge figures, and you think, wow, that's going to be amazing. And then you go and you see the Koenigsegg at the track getting blasted by a Tesla Model X.